I'm back here with Christian and Jesse with My Why, and we talked a little bit before about what My Why is and the history behind it. And right now we're going to be talking about a podcast that they're starting that will be launching on March 11th. Very exciting. Every podcasts have become so much more popular these days, and everyone seems to love them, just finding which one, suits them. And there's many, many different ones on different subjects. So can you tell me a little bit about what the My Why podcast will, I guess, sound like opposed to look like, but what can people expect to hear from it?
Well, we have had an opportunity to tell stories, as we mentioned, and we have been so lucky to partner and have Kim Caparel with Nara Studios on board. And putting out videos is something so near and dear to us. And we just want to reach as many people as we possibly can. And part of creating the videos that we've done in the past was sitting down with families and just sharing and having a conversation. And so podcast, even when you said that, I was like, holy, we have a podcast. So this just gives us another outlet to be able to share those stories. It's very important for us right now to make sure that they are uncut and kind of ad-free as we get started, to just sit down with great, amazing people who inspire us and inspire others and tell their story.
And so going back on, hearing other people's stories, what kind of guests will you have on? Or can you tell me, just hint at, give us a little preview on the first episode on if you have any guests or what you're planning on doing in the future with that?
So we have an exciting guest to launch our podcast. We have Jess Tatu, which is the owner of Just For You Day Spas and the most amazing philanthropist. She is she is the most powerful woman in Canada. She's one of the most powerful women in Canada. She won that award. And I can't even believe that we have her on our first podcast, and she's the most amazing, resilient woman. We are highlighting people that have resiliency and people that have amazing stories. We had a guest from Residents in Recovery, and he was so insightful and so just wonderful speaking to him.
Going on 5 months clean, so we'll give a shout out to him for doing that and keeping up the great work there. And obviously Residents in Recovery will shoulder tap them for some stories.
Yes, and Candace Willits, a local makeup artist who is killing it. We've had some really good interviews so far, so we're very excited.
Yeah.
And why did you guys decide to start a podcast about and share these stories on that platform?
I don't even remember really. I think you mentioned that I just called you one day and was like, we should podcast.
And I said, yeah, sure.
in my head, Kristen started it. So we're each other's brains sometimes.
Yeah, like we will say yes to anything that we think is important and anything that can share stories. And so if Jesse suggests something, I'm like, okay, let's do it.
Vice versa.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why we're great together. And I think podcasts are the way to go. I think that's a very smart idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hope so.
We hope so.
We like to dive into things that challenge us, and that was even just the audio piece. We're so lucky. Sean Newman's got such a great podcast at Alloyd, and he came, sat down with us. We've had many people give us kind of their ear. Kim again, Caparel, sit down and help us with the audio. So getting through some of that was a lot of fun for us too, to make sure. And it was
She was
I'm
amazing
a bit of a
at
nerd
that.
at heart.
I'm not.
We want it to sound crystal clear. We want to be able to tell stories in an authentic way, and podcasting just gives us another means to do that. And it's been a lot of fun to welcome people into, we call it the pod pad, to welcome people into the My Why crib kind of, and sit down with them. And every time, they walk out and we just look at each other, we're like, is this real life, that we get the opportunity to be trusted with telling people's stories? It really is. I mean, get goosebumps talking about it. It's
It's just like the ultimate following your passion. And it started, like I said, from a hospital bed and just saying like, okay, what can we do now? And we both had quite severe health scares, and we just wanted to live our life the best of our ability. And so this is kind of a way to highlight other people and give people a platform.
Yeah. One thing Kristen said to me a long time ago, and she said so many wise things to me, was we need to live more for our legacies and less for our resumes. And at different times, our resumes have been very important to us, getting things done, getting it on paper and being like, yes, I've accomplished that. But this is an opportunity for us to tell stories and build kind of more of that legacy piece and not so much a resume. And we want to spend time with great people, and this gives us the outlet to do that.
And now, so it launches March 11th. Where can people go to listen to it?
Well, you can visit our website at mywhyrevolution.com, and it'll be there'll be a link there through Captivate. It will also be on Spotify and iTunes and your favorite. Working hard to get it on all of your favorite podcast streaming services. There's so many, and again, that's been a learning curve. So just getting it on as many different platforms as we can. So check out our social media, and we're so lucky. Many of our first presenters will be promoting it to Candace Willet's Just For You Day Spas and that kind of thing as well. So.
All right, well, thank you so much for coming in and sharing this amazing organization. And then it's so incredible that you guys are starting a podcast now. And I think that'll just spread your guys' message out just a little bit further. So thank you
guys so much for having us and all the support you always give us for our guests. It's weird being on the chair. We like being behind, but
yes, we do.
Thank you so much for helping us.
Of course.